To have a panel discussion, which is our highly anticipated CEO panels powered by the Data and AI Literacy Association, DALA. So this year, we bring together 4 CEOs from diverse sectors to share with us their views on return and investments from artificial intelligence. So the panels will explore emerging trends, strategies to maximize ROI, and how to navigate workforce transformation and delve into the real-world impact of AI, examining common misconceptions, implementations, hurdles, obstacles, and ethical consideration. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the first panel of the day, which is the CEO Perspectives Reality Check of AI and ROI Dilemmas. So first of all, I would like to invite our moderator of this session, Dr. Tower Charmed, founding chairman of Data and AI Literacy Association. Let's welcome Dr. Charm. And our esteemed panels of CEOs, including Mr. Simon Loong, founder and group CEO of WeLab. Welcome. And moving on next, we have Mr. Anthony Lam, group CEO and vice chairman of Golden Resources. Welcome. And next, we have Ms. Joanne Hon, managing director, Hong Kong Equinix. Welcome. And last but not least, let's welcome Mr. Ricky Chong, Managing Director of Ricoh Hong Kong. Let's give them a big round of applause. Welcome our CEOs and also Dr. Charm. And now without any further ado, I'm going to pass over the stage to our moderator. Dr. Charm, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much for our beautiful and smart MC. So it's a very good start for the day. So hi, everybody. Good morning. So this is our 3rd year to have this kind of opening panel. Mainly is we want to look at, from the CEO perspective, how they see AI, what kind of challenges they have been facing, and hopefully you can get some insight and wisdom from our CEO and help yourself to implement your AI solutions in your company. Or if you are vendors, definitely you want to listen to them. What is their pain points and how you're going to address them. My name is Dr. Tower Charm. I'm the founding chairman of Data and AI Literacy Association. We have many corporate members and we have many friends in this ecosystem. Feel free to join us and then we can have a long, long time to go as a journey, the AI journey. That's a start. So I would like to go one round to make sure that you know our guest speaker first and then we dive into our topics. How about we start with Simon? Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Thank you. It's great to be here. I'm Simon Loong. I'm the founder and group CEO of WeLab. WeLab, we're probably one of the biggest fintech companies in Asia with 70 million users. We're probably most well known in Hong Kong because we own WeLab Bank and WeLend. But in addition to that, we have a very large business in mainland China. We also have a second bank in Indonesia. We've been doing this for the last 13 years, where we use technology and reinvent and re-innovate banking, and also a major AI adopter for the industry.
Thank you, Simon. Simon, actually, Cyberport just presented. Actually, when I was with Cyberport, we worked closely with Simon. Even I left Cyberport, we still work closely with WeLab because they are one of our idol startups representing Hong Kong. So definitely we can learn a lot more from Simon on his journey. Thank you so much. Another one is Anthony. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. I'm Anthony Lam. I'm the group CEO of Golden Resources Group, which is a Lisco in Hong Kong. We've got 2 main sides of the business. One is a very traditional factory industrial side, which is doing rice manufacturing and production in Hong Kong. And the other one is more of I think a lot of new tech is I'm doing retail store. I'm doing Circle K in Vietnam. We've got more than 500 stores, so that needs a lot of tech.
Yes, there's a lot more wisdom from the traditional industry point of view. How we're going to leverage AI from the traditional industry perspective. Anthony actually is a very core member, I would say, in the FHKI as well, Federation of Hong Kong Industry. So he knows many, many industry leaders around Hong Kong and in the region. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Joanne, can you introduce yourself? Yeah.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Chang, for having me this morning. My name is Joanne, and I work for a company called Equinix. We are the biggest global digital infrastructure company. We owned 270 plus data centers around the world, more than 75 cities. And imagine you go to the airport and you can take any flight you like and go to any destination you like. And this is what we do, is that you come to Equinix, you're connected to the world, you watch Netflix, you have a call on Zoom, you go to Park and Shop and pay online. All of those are sitting on Equinix infrastructure. So that's the company we serve. Here in Hong Kong, we have 5 data centers across Kowloon, and we just announced last year that we are investing $1 billion to build our 6th data center called Hong Kong 6, and it is an AI-enabled data center. Nice to meet all of you this morning.
Thank you, Joanne. Last but not least, Ricky.
Good morning. I'm Ricky Chong, the Managing Director of Ricoh Hong Kong. I've been in IT industry for 30 years, and since 2014, I've been leading, the transformation of Ricoh Hong Kong from a pure copy supplier to a digital solution provider. The recent launch of the AI Inno program with Cyberport shows our commitment to, building the AI to business ecosystem. And we are actually inviting the customers as well as the developers to, participate the AI co-creation. We released, we call the sandbox for, the participants to start up their, kind of AI concept in a very low cost. So currently, we have around 150 participants, co-creating around, hundreds of AI agents. So I'm proud to be here, and also thanks for invitation, Dr. Chang. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. As you can observe, this panel is actually well articulated, put it this way. So we have very, very elite startup like WeLab. So definitely they're AI native. We can learn something from an AI native company, how they do. And then we have the traditional industry representative, right? From Anthony. So how they struggle, how they leverage on AI. I remember he talked about when people talk AI to them, investment, it's like want to get some blood from a rock. So you can see, you can feel there's a very different view of that. But unfortunately, most of us are in this stage. So how we can tackle all these challenges, we can learn from Anthony. And we have 2 multinational companies here as well. So how do multinational company here are seeing AI, and we can benchmark, again, from Hong Kong perspective, how we can learn from, Equinix and also from Ricoh. So 2 multinational company. Now, get started now, right? So AI native. So WeLab, I think, is so admire what kind of thing you have done. So for all those years, have you seen yourself or your friends around? What sort of most impactful AI application you have seen, and why they are so impactful?
Thank you. And Dr. Chang has always been we're always grateful for Dr. Chang's support over the years.
Thank you.
And of course, Cyberport as well, and Hong Kong government. I think in particular with AI, WeLab has been a very long adopter of AI, even in the earlier generations where we used predictive AI for credit underwriting and also fraud detection. That we've been doing it since 2014 to 15. In fact, I think when we look at our mainland China business, we are one of the first mobile-based lender in mainland China. So we actually use a lot of these for credit underwriting and automation. Now, obviously, fast forward to today, we also, I think, the first bank in Asia to adopt a LLM internally for our colleagues to use. We first adopted DeepSeek, and then we just roll out Google Gemini for employees to use. Now, because we run banks has a very different standard for data privacy and protecting our consumers' data. So we cannot use a general LLM model that you see on the streets. It has to be all in-house, hosted in-house. So we're able to do that earlier this year to upskill all of our colleagues to increase their productivity and also give them in additional accuracy and also creativity. And looking ahead, we're also looking at how do we leverage on agentic AI to help us to automate a lot of tasks. So going forward, you will see most of your financial services products being offered with limited human intervention around the clock and with greater accuracies.
Thank you so much. Later on, we will talk about more about challenges. I think WeLab is actually in the financial services area, highly regulated. And at the same time, they are innovating a lot of stuff on AI. So how are we going to learn from WeLab? What kind of thing we can really protect us? We talk about AI, a lot of AI ethics, a lot of data governance things. So definitely we can learn more from Simon later on. Anthony, yourself or your friends around, any AI application, although you need to have some challenge, but what kind of most impactful application you have seen?
Right, Dr. Cham, I'm still wondering why I'm on the stage here because I have no idea about AI.
Yeah.
And in the industry field, we spend all the money in the 3 alphabets, like CRM, HRM, all these 3 alphabets. Now it's changing to 2 alphabets, so AI. So the industry hasn't got a lot of money to invest in there. But you asked me what we know about AI. We don't. Okay, yesterday I received a call from SAP, and he said, they've got AI included in their ERP system, and then they want me to go and hear about it. So I'll go because we have to learn. Industry not always go in the forefront of these technology base because we need a lot of investments into different factories. That's very important. So we adapt. When we see people are successful and we use it, then we slowly change because it involves a lot of changes in our system. But we feel that a lot of the people are mixing what is AI and what is algorithm. So all our factories, basically, we've gone through Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, we've got robotics, we've got automation and all these things. And now, Industry 5.0, we talk about robot and human interface. But what's AI going to get involved with it? So a lot of the things we're already doing is solved by algorithm. So algorithm is not AI. So the industry needs to hear more and learn more about what is AI and how AI can help us. Otherwise, to me, like sitting here, I have no idea about AI apart from its name. Thank you.
Thank you. Anthony is actually very humble. So he has tons of experience how to apply particularly, I think, in the industrial sector. So many of us actually in this sector, and also from SME perspective, right? Not everyone like me and Simon probably know a little bit more about AI, but all other laymen, how we can make use of it. Definitely we can learn more from Anthony. So thank you. Joanne, can you talk about any impactful, insightful application you have been seeing in terms of AI?
I have got to say, AI has got to be the most used and spoke about words in Equinix. Because if we are living in the middle of the AI ecosystem, our customers are looking at AI in enhancing their productivity and profitability. But so we use AI. We have AI in-house established system for our HR, for our sales, just various types of AI tools. But maybe I will share one example that in a data center that we use tremendously, and I'm actually quite proud of. I'm sure you know that when running a data center, there are a few core elements. Power. Electricity is one of the core elements.
Sure.
Without electricity, we don't have blood. So it's very important that we remain very sustainable at the world's leading infrastructure company. And so there's one thing in the industry that measures how we use power effectively, and that is called PUE. So basically is in a data center, how much power you use as in totality in that data center divided by the consumption of the power used by your IT system, so your hardware. So the lower the number is, the closer to 1, the better you are. So we have a very low number in Equinix. However, with AI, in addition to IT system usage, you actually need to use a lot of other things like liquid cooling, right? How you control the light and a lot of other things that you need to consider with AI. And those things are not quite included in the industry PUE calculation. Now, what we do is we optimize the way we calculate the PUE and make sure that all those additional non-IT systems are being calculated so that it's more holistic and truly impactful to our world and sustainability. And so AI is used to capture all those calculations, so we know the temperature in our data hall, what is changing. We know the water that we are using, how do we calculate and scientifically understand our consumption of power. So that is being used tremendously as a use case.
It's a very good use case. I'll give you a question. You know, we used to use Google to search, and now we're using ChatGPT or DeepSeek to make a query to answer our questions, right? In terms of electricity consumption, one Google search and one ChatGPT query, in terms of electricity consumption, do you know what is the difference? How many times? One Google search. Now, every day we are using Google search a lot, but now we're using ChatGPT DeepSeek a lot. So I'll give you answers, 14 times. So one Google search and compared to one ChatGPT query. So sustainability and ESG, everybody concerned about, that definitely is a very useful case. Hi, Ricky. So can you talk about it? One of the examples, yeah?
Thank you, Dr. Chang. Well, you know, putting AI use case into practice, particularly in the commercial world, is not as easy as we thought. We started, the AI workforce back to 18 months ago, and I have run of discussion with my executives, how to prioritize the AI application in our organization. Finally, we actually rooted on two principles. You know, AI is only co-pilot, cannot replace the human judge. The second, actually, AI, the use of AI has to come with the business purpose, alongside with our business strategy, which is customer experience as well as the operation improvement. So with these principles, we over time we have many crazy ideas, but we funneled down to 5. One of them I want to share here is about how we reduce the time engineers spend on site to fix the copier. The young engineer in particular, they actually have to pair with the experienced one, because the young engineer do not have experience. They have to check with the experienced engineer to back them up to repair the machine. But indeed, actually, it is very costly operation. Then we upload hundreds of our copier manuals, which manuals talking about 1,000 pages, to the LLM, and train them how to interpret the problem of we call the copier. And also, with this, our engineer can get down to the advice procedure, easily, and they can actually shorten the time spent on site as well as they can shorten the training time. It improves our overall productivity up to 30%. So this is one use case we have been trying to get down to this result. Of course, there are many, quick wins, like, we use AI as a marketing material to save around 2 to 3 million marketing costs, particular production costs last year. So this all come back, to align with our business purpose. So this some of the examples I share. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank
Chong.
you all of you to give some of the examples. But today our main theme, this first question, actually is a warm-up question to engage you in. The real stuff is the ROI and dilemma. So we would like to talk about, particularly Simon and Anthony, what is two different worlds, I guess. Apart from the size of your body, right? It's also two different worlds. So one is very extreme, very innovative. One is very traditional, very solid business we can talk about. So I want to jump to actually the first question about, as Ricky mentioned about, the ROI. Even you are more AI native for that sake. So when there's a proposal, there's something we need to do on AI, you need to spend money. Right? So how do you, both of you, how do you justify those kind of investment?
Thank you. I think the ROI of AI, especially for us, is extremely high, right? If we take a step back, right, to look at our the whole corporate AI vision for WeLab, right? We look at being an AI first company, where we look at how we can disperse and adopt AI technology to enhance human potential. Now, the human potential can be both employees and also our customers. It can later on be the board, stakeholders, and other people too. These are the human, right? And how do we adopt and disperse these technology? And given we are started off as a very digital savvy kind of company, our number of employees are naturally a lot lower as well, comparing with a traditional bank, for example, right? So for us, we see that the ROI actually does not come from efficiency, where, well, you've seen companies that say they adopt AI and then lay off like 6,000 people or stuff like that. It doesn't come from there, right? It actually comes from higher accuracy. We can actually do more and achieve more. Let me give you an example, right? Hong Kong, most banks, or the large 1 or 2 banks have like 1 million or 2 million customers plus in Hong Kong. They, in general, have around, let's say, a few thousand to 10, 20,000 employees. I have 2.5 million customers in Indonesia myself. We only have 400 employees. We're able to serve that many with just 400 employees. And this bank is only 1.5 years old. So you can see, right, the ability to use technology, AI to serve, actually help us to scale up much, much faster versus a traditional company. Mm-hmm. Now, unlike a technology company, we're going to go deeper. Unlike a technology company that builds a LLM model, mm-hmm. right? They need to do a lot of R&D, mm-hmm. And hence they invest a lot of money. But those companies that build these models, unfortunately, do not have a very clear revenue model yet. Hence, the ROI is very difficult to calculate. These companies, so who made the money from the usage of LLM models, right? Fortunately, cloud service providers. That they are the ones who get paid, right? Because when you use a cloud service provider, the LLM model get deployed on their server. You paid for the service. So I think the difficulty right now in AI in terms of ROI is actually the R&D part, because it's huge R&D put into development of model, but yet the monetization is weak in certain areas, right? Mm-hmm. But for us, once again, that's why I talked about our AI vision, mm-hmm. is adoption and disbursement of technology. That becomes we have a very specific use case, right. And very specific business, hence they actually help us a lot more. And for us, the ROI is very, very easily measured and very, very tangible.
Right. So I think it's relatively easy for AI first, AI native company like yourself. And you talk about you are actually adopting the technology out there. You can use API call, and then you can customize it for your use. For Anthony, you mentioned about this 3-letter word, right? ERP. Fortunately, it's not 4-letter word, 3-letter word, right? ERP, CRM. You used to have that kind of investment justification, ROI for ERP, ROI for CRM. When you face an AI, so many people here talk to you and want to sell AI to you, right? So from your perspective, from the industry perspective, right? So how do you justify this kind of investment?
Okay, industry is at the lowest level of the whole economy because our margin is very low. Actually, both on the retail stores and also the factories are very low. So we look inside of ROI very importantly. Even when we invested into all these robotic system, automation, we look at the ROI. How long is the payback period? Okay, for example, in the retail stores, it's known that you've got a GP of 30%, you've got a net profit of 5%. And with all this investment into the technology, so it's draining out all our net profit. Okay, for example, each and every store we open, we have to pay the vendor. So how can we maintain? The investors also look at our NPL GP. How can we maintain our NPL GP? So we have to have the vendor to prove that whatever we are doing now with the algorithm, that the AI can do better, right? Better return and increase our net profit. That's very, very important to us. And instead of saying that we're chasing behind the word AI or the new technology, we have to prove it. For example, we already adopted, for example, in our retail stores, face recognition, the CRM, HRM, the logistics system. It's all these money. Okay, how can it? Okay, now with the algorithm, they already achieved something for us. So with the AI, will it further help us? Okay, there are free AIs, for example, in our traditional company in Hong Kong. All the people writing reports, they all use AI. This is the limit of the AI that we're using. So we rely on the vendor to actually tell us what are there in the future. We're not like the banks. So I guess if it is within the factory area, so the use of AI is attached to the production system, how we can reduce the cost of the production so that we can gain more margin. But on the retail stores, because we've got like 5,000 staff, we've got more than 500 stores, we need a lot of technology to back us up. And this has, it's ready, we're open for any AI innovation to bring into the system, as long as it doesn't drain out our net profit or our GP. That's very important. How to manage our vendors, how to manage the people, how to like the electricity, as Joanne said. So this is also very important to us. So, but yet again, the ROI. This is what the industry actually look at.
Very good. So actually, you can look from two perspectives, right? So it's very different. So we can learn, depends on your background. I want to ask a follow-up question with Wiki. So as Simon talked about, when I'm adopting AI, probably I can make use of a lot of API calls, a lot of technology out there, we can make use of it. And then we can innovate, and then we can make our business more scalable. And from Anthony's perspective, maybe more cost-effective, margin will be higher, that sort of thing. From Ricoh perspective, you also build your own LLM, and serve different types of SMEs and companies. So from your perspective, how do you justify to the investment to build your LLM and really serve the community? Yeah.
Well, I like your points about having leveraging of the other API, because the LLM is just one of the elements in the whole AI infrastructure. So back to the point about ROI. So I just advise the audience here, don't jump to AI without the consideration of ROI, because there are many hidden costs. When you implement it, there are many hidden costs. The first hidden cost actually is about the data management, because you got to have a data literacy, data protection. That's cost to the company. If you don't prepare it well, garbage in, garbage out. That's the situation we have to face. The second is about the processing power. Nowadays, people actually compete with the processing power. Joanne, actually, you are actually really on a very good edge on this. But the point is, when you actually do this AI implementation, we have to leverage back what Dr. Chong said. You have to offload something to the legacy system that you have already invested. You don't have to go through all the logics back to the LLM. Ricoh Hong Kong has done similar experience. This was a painful experience. In the very beginning, we just put all documents back to the LLM, but actually it's very costly, to be honest. What we actually now, we learn smarter, we optimize the balance of use of the legacy system, the SLM, as well as the LLM. So for some simple one, actually we can create the data from the system and then use that data, turn into SLM, and then you can get the answer easily. That depends on what you need. So this is why I try to answer Dr. Chung's question, why Ricoh has the LLM. We are not doing LLM. We are just doing the SLM, which is just optimized, just fit for the commercial use.
That's very good. Joanne, this good stuff is good, but back to reality, then you're not WeLab, like the AI native, AI ready. Most of the staff are very digital savvy. It's much easier to adopt and integrate to their process and operation. So from your perspective, when we have some good AI stuff, want to bring back to our company and integrate with our process, what sort of challenges we have been facing?
I think, there are a lot of considerations. There are maybe a couple that I would really advise customers to think about. And we ourselves in Equinix constantly would have to reflect and think about is, with AI, it's impossible to be successful if you go alone, right? No matter how strong you are in your industry, your ecosystem is changing because of AI. And therefore, the first thing that we advise ourselves, but also our customer, is that make sure that you're open and also you constantly explore an enlarging ecosystem. And when I say that, I mean the supplier that you're working with, the AI solution provider that you're working with, the data providers that you're working with, your infrastructure partner, your hardware partner. Are they all in line with your business goal and they should be part of your ecosystem? And be open-minded, because there's a lot of newcomers out there that could work with you. So that ecosystem is very important. That would be my first advice. And second is the foundation. I think Ricky alluded to that. The foundation that you're laying is very important, because whatever you're planning today and you're testing today will have a ramification tomorrow. Be it on the cost in terms of how you are doing it, be it on the data security, how you are protecting your customer data, all of that laid on the foundation that you're planning today. So that kind of planning is very much needed, and those are the two things that probably customers might not be paying as much attention today, and they should.
Thank you so much. So it's so good to have Anthony and Simon's in the panel, because the next question is also very relevant. So we need to make our company and our staff ready for this historical, unprecedented change of AI, right? So from a native AI company, you have your challenge, because all your competitors are also native AI. So you're running who is faster. So how you can keep your staff up to speed, and they can make use of the latest AI and get the advantage in your competition. Let's also ask Anthony later on, right? So, and Simon.
I think employee upskilling is probably one of the most important things, as we also shared publicly in the past, right? I think this will be, if Hong Kong were to be continuously successful, AI upskilling will be one of the most important things that we have to do as an industry, as a market, as a region. Because we're very good, for example, in financial services. And I think a lot of the good old ways we're doing it is very effective, but we cannot keep on throwing bodies at a problem. We have to be efficient at it, right? Hence, being able to upskill our employees are very, very important. Now, the first important thing about upskilling is awareness and tools, right? You need to teach them, educate them. At WeLab, what we do a lot is, of course, awareness, building a WeLab culture that we have to be AI first. So how do we build a culture and change employee perspective so that whenever there's a problem, they ask themselves, is there a technology tool, for example, AI, that can help them to make it more efficient? The second point, of course, is fit for purpose, meaning I don't want them to throw an AI solution to me on every single problem. I think it has to be fit for purpose. I think an analogy is if you only have a hammer in your hand, every problem looks like a nail. But that's not how it should be worked, right? And then availability of tools. So now we're studying a couple of tools that we want to give our employees to enable them after awareness, education, training. We talk about our in-house WeLab AI assistant that we've deployed that is secured, it's a lot cheaper because we run it in-house, hosted ourselves. How do we actually educate them on prompt engineering, right? Are there other tools that they should be doing on meetings and productivity related? So there's a whole set of things that we need to do. Now that is the general staff training that we call it, and it's probably applicable for majority of businesses. And then there is the very specific kind of training that we need to give to technology staff and data analytics staff. They have their specialized AI tools for software development, coding, and programming. Now, a lot of our codes are today written by AI, which is fantastic. I think they are now training newer models so that we become effectively more efficient. And that is not just saying, oh, we'll give you a tool and you use it. So I think that our IT team are very thoughtful in terms of the implementation, where usually when there's a coding tool, they let a small team use it first, and then compare, test, and learn the productivity gain. If it works, then they roll it out to the rest of the team. Right? So there's a lot of ways that we look at how these tools can be adopted and scaled. Last thing is, as I said, we have a smaller organization. considering we run around 4 businesses, each business has around 300 to 400 employees. And if you think about it from a financial services kind of scale, it's actually considered pretty small, right? A few hundred employees to run a bank, right? So when you have that level of employees, upskilling become very, very effective because you can do more with the same level of employees rather than you need to keep on adding headcounts and headcounts and headcounts to this, and then you run out of office space, and then you have a lot of other issues. So I think being small and nimble also help us in terms of increase and enhance adoption as well.
Thank you, Simon. I have to ask this question. Is it enough? You know, so many, I know you are good already, but there's so many companies out there so good, so advanced, so close to the AI. Would that be enough, what you have done already?
I think at the end of the day, I think there are AI companies who develop software and they invest in R&D. We will never be able to beat them, right? That's why I said our AI vision is about adoption and disbursement of AI technology. So when we talk about adoption, I think that level is actually okay. Now, if you talk about development, then it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah. Thank you. Anthony, from your perspective, how, you know, it's even tougher, right? The culture, the readiness of your company or your friend's company are not very different from WeLab.
Very much. I envy Simon's tech-savvy staff. Okay. For factories, we are dealing with factory workers. We're dealing with coolies. We're dealing with a lot of low-tech people. To convince them to use tech, they have to feel that they are benefiting from it. We install robots, we install automation, they think we're taking out their job. So they're not happy. So we have to show them that we're not taking out their job. It's just enhancing and expanding the company. They see as the company's expanding as different from what their own job security, for example, is. For example, we've invested in a system. We've got like 30 trucks going around Hong Kong every day. So we've got a tracking system for the trucks. So whenever they deliver the products to a restaurant, for example, the ideal scenario is that the driver will press a delivered button, and then the whole thing will be delivered, and we have the real-time monitoring of where the goods are delivered and when it will be delivered. Sounds so perfect. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it doesn't work because the driver or the delivery person will only stop the car at lunch and press all these buttons at the same time. So they don't see that it benefits them. It benefits the company, but then, oh yes, it benefits the company, but it doesn't benefit me. So I don't have to, in normal times, I give them the phone, make it an easy system, just to press it, but that just doesn't work. So we invested all these technology in it, doesn't work. So we have to convince them to make sure that these things actually help them. We even have a bonus system. If they press all these buttons, they can have some bonus on it, but that means more cost to us, right? So in order, like for example, for the traditional business, so we have to think about how the staff reacts to the new technology. Like for example, ChatGPT. We use it for the minutes drafting. The secretary loves it because it helps them. So I don't have to tell them, they pay for themselves for the ChatGPT. So we have to think about this way, especially for the traditional manufacturing system. We can automation, robotic, we can install everything in it, they can use it, we can teach them, but it takes a very long time to educate them, and it's never enough education for them.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I think AI technology is everywhere now. I think it's not that difficult to put it this way because it makes it easier for all us to use. But the most difficult thing is people. That's why we asked this question. From a AI native company, from a traditional company. I want to also check with Ricky. So you have been a pioneer or piloting, doing a lot of pilot project with the SMEs in Hong Kong. Definitely with a similar rejection, don't want to change, that sort of thing. So what's your experience there? How we can help them to adopt AI better?
Well, people talk about AI, about eliminating jobs, but that's not the whole story. Actually, we create a new role we call the AI buddy. So that AI buddy is somehow actually is the one who is responsible the use of the AI agents in our organization. This guy also have to, responsible for the data, the promotion of the use, the change management of the staff, to make use of this, and also to keep the roadmap of these AI agents. So actually, currently, we have around 5 AI buddies in our organization. Definitely, it can help push the adoption of AI in the organization.
Thank you so much. Joanne, as a multinational company, you have offices around. Would the Western culture better adoption of AI compared to the Asian culture, particularly Hong Kong, right? So how do you see the differences?
I think my fellow panelists alluded to a very important, which is the culture, right? The mindset around AI. But there are other things that we, in addition to that's very important, the mindset is when we speak to our customers or when we, make sure our people have the right mindset, is that we need to first of all understand what matters to your business most, right? What matters to you. Number 2 is with AI, data is the fuel. So where does that AI data sit? Where does the data sit? Where is your partner's data? Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 3 is a mindset about understanding even with AI, each industry still has to operate within the compliance boundary. So that mindset has got to be there, with all those 3 things. And I'll elaborate a little bit because it has to do with how we strategize AI. Is that, so first of all, what matters to you? And if I take a customer as an example in the biomedical industry, what matters to him most is to be able to unlock a DNA sequencing for a very ill patient as quickly as possible. Now, for him to do it without AI before and slowly transmitting that data with another professor, another doctor, let's say in Singapore or Indonesia, usually that typically before, according to him, would take 4 months. With AI, he has his own model, and then there comes the data bit, is that where's the data? Where does the data sit, and where does the data need to go? Then he knows how to navigate them, and working with a right company, that could, shorten that 4 months into 4 weeks. We are talking about life here. So knowing where the data sit and navigate that so that the data goes into your AI model is very important. Speed is important, right? And then lastly, when I talk about compliance is very important in finance, in medical, in many industry. But when I talk about compliance, there is also a cost to it. Because where you want your data to sit originally, when you train them, you might want to go and use a public AI model. That is perfectly fine. But when you want to apply it in an inferencing environment, you want to make sure that your customer, your patient's data is secure. And therefore, you want to bring it back into where you have better control in the environment. And also, there's a cost consideration because when the data is being tested in the public cloud, the cost is very small because the data set is very small. But when you want to use it and apply it on the real day-to-day inferencing situation, that cost can go up tremendously. The same example that I told you, sending that big data into Singapore and Indonesia for one patient case, coming back, that cost my client almost $1 million Hong Kong dollar. Just by going up to the cloud, coming back, that constant, back and forth. And therefore, there's a cost consideration that you want to host that all privately with an infrastructure company that you trust. So the 3 things that we constantly talk about when it comes to the mindset often also goes to what is most important for your business. Where is the data? Is it secure? Is it well used? And then lastly, the cost consideration. Those are all in the mindset.
Thank you so much, Joanne and Ricky. Don't underestimate the complication. When you want to scale up your AI solution, you need to understand the infrastructure and also do a lot of underlying calculation of the cost implication. I promise you we'll get back to this question to Simon. So you have been a pioneer using AI in many jurisdictions, particularly financial services is a highly regulated one. How we can protect ourselves while we're enjoying the benefit of AI? That would be something like, privacy issue, compliance issue. It works in Hong Kong, it might not work in Indonesia. So what's your wisdom on that?
I think if you look at from a regulatory framework perspective, right? I think they look at a couple of things, right? I think we alluded to it earlier too, right? In terms of explainability of the model, in terms of you cannot discriminate a certain underprivileged group, in terms of you need human in the loop. I think those are fine. I think industries are trying to use that. Some of them is actually for explainability, so for human to feel good. To be honest, the model actually works just as well if it doesn't, if a human cannot understand it, right? But I think that's the version 1 of what the world see AI should be today. I do feel that in a more controversial view, and as a tech founder, not as a someone who owns a bank, I believe that there shouldn't be human in the loop. I believe that technology should be so good that human does not and should not be in the loop, and let technology do it well. Human can monitor, but human in the loop actually means something very, very different. It means human has to say the final yes or no. But I think in order for technology to proliferate, I don't think humans should be in the loop.
Thank you so much. I think we can talk another hour, definitely. So many things I want to ask. I only asked half of the questions, but unfortunately, we have time limit. So my last question, give me one minute or 4 minutes overtime, because I would want to go one more round, is what is your final recommendation to the audience here? How we can leverage AI better to our own business and operation, particularly in the Hong Kong context, right? Maybe we'll start with Ricky and let Simon think about it, right? Ricky.
Yeah, well, I make it short. Okay, let you remember one thing. AI can be a threat to your company if you jump in without the consideration of content accuracy, ROI, and also data literacy. That's the 3 key things you have to bear in mind before you go into it. And my advice is actually you can always start with a small scale AI application to testify your thinking and evaluate the cost. And then actually with this, you can have scale up not necessary on the features as well as the staff, upskill them, and also encourage your staff to use it under a control and safe environment. That's my advice.
Thank you. Joanne?
Yeah, I think in addition to what I've already shared, I would just say, think about the infrastructure that's going to house your AI and data, and be flexible and adopt a hybrid mode, meaning using both the cloud and also your control environment, depending on where you apply your AI model. So that hybrid environment is something to really consider.
Thank you, Joanne. Anthony?
Right. I'd like to share that in the industry or in the service industry, like convenience store, robotic AI automation is good, but you cannot get away from human. How many of you have been to the automated no-man convenience store at the airport, in Hong Kong airport? Good on you. 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Out of all these, probably 1%, okay? It doesn't work. So nobody goes in because it's very complicated. So you need the people's interface to go there. AI, robotic, it's gonna help, but it's not going to replace the human, especially in the service sector. In the factory sense, ROI is very, very important. We cannot afford to put any more investment additional to what we have. But the AI will have to replace whatever we have invested and do it better and make it more savings for us. Thank you.
Very good, Anthony. Simon?
Just 2 things short. I think every one of us, our kids, everyone should take prompt engineering courses. Learn it. It's very, very simple. Prompt engineering courses, so they understand technology, understand how to use it. It makes a world of difference. Number 2 is, as we always said in WeLab, AI will not replace you, but your colleagues who use AI will replace you.
Thank you so much. So I think we learn a lot more on AI from these 4 CEO and MD. Next, join me to give them a big round of applause. So thank you so much. This is my church. Don't leave now. I'll do a selfie. I actually learned it from Anson Bailey, KPMG. I'm almost close to his size now, unfortunately. But let's do this one. Right, that's good.
All right, should we give a big round of applause to our moderator and panelists one more time? Thank you so much. So please kindly stand up and let's take one more photo together. So please take one more photo together. And then please look at our official photographer. So Dr. Charm, 我哋不如再影多張合照好嗎? Okay, so our guests on stage, please look at our official photographer. Right in the center, in the front row. 係啦，我哋望一望前排嘅位置，我哋嘅攝影師。好啦。All right, so everyone, please look at our official photographer in the center. And thank you so much for giving your perspective as a CEO, giving us wonderful insight about AI and ROI dilemmas. All right, thank you very much, our panelists, and also Dr. Charm for moderating this session for us. Please proceed off stage. Thank you very much.